Did you know that until 1948, tattoos were illegal to everyone but first responders and firefighters in Japan? First responders and firefighters were allowed to have tattoos because if their bodies were burned or maimed in the line of duty, then they could be identified later because of their tattoos. So I'm qualified to tell you about tattoos and why you should be willing to get one. I actually went out and got one myself. I'm kidding, of course. That would be illegal. So these are temporary tattoos that I actually made at home, and I can rub them off at any time. Don't worry, didn't do anything wrong this time. So today I'm going to teach you and tell you and try to explain to you about why you should get a tattoo. Why you should get a tattoo, why tattoos are important, and some things that you should never get tattooed on your body. So why are tattoos important? Tattoos have a symbolic meaning no matter what you get. So a lot of people, if they have a near-death experience, they might go and get something tattooed so they can remember the recovery from it. Some people get things tattooed because it has a big impact in their life, big meaning. Some people get tattoos because they think they look cool, and to each their own. But tattoos also have a significant historical importance. Some Indian and native tribes use tattoos to identify themselves as a member of one tribe or another, so they can use as identification and things like that. As history progresses, we went from sort of an identification to more of an artistic view for what tattoos mean and are. Some negative historical importance, though, is like the Holocaust, where they would tattoo the identification numbers on the Jewish people in the concentration camps. So not all tattoos are great. So now you know what tattoos mean. Why should you get a tattoo? Everybody's got their different reason for having a tattoo. Some people really enjoy the tattoo. Some people really enjoy what the tattoo means to them. Some people get it because they did have that experience in their life that they always want to remember. So everybody has their own reason and their own ideas for getting a tattoo. But you should never get a tattoo because other people tell you to, or other people want you to get it. A tattoo is something you should always think about, and always think about getting for a long time. It's not a spur of the moment thing, even with a small one. A tattoo will never come off. There are some ways you can get them covered with other tattoos, and there are some laser therapy treatments where you can get them removed, but even if you do the laser therapy, there will always be scar tissue where you had your tattoo. So it will always be with you in some form or another. So now you know why tattoos are important, why you should get a tattoo, but what should you never get tattooed? Racial derogatory items are some of the biggest negative tattoos still today. A lot of people, neo-Nazis for example, like to get swastikas and negative racial things tattooed on themselves to identify them as a part of this negative group. Never get those tattooed. You'll hear more stories about how people did that in their young lives, and as they grew older, they decided that it was a negative thing and they wanted to get them removed. Well, as I said before, a tattoo is with you forever. Even if you do get it removed, the scar tissue from it is still going to be there, and you will still be able to see it. Some other things that you should never get tattooed are things that aren't supposed to be permanent. Which, of course, sounds weird, but I use the big example, like a name. You should never get a name tattooed on your body. Your mom, your dad, that's one thing, but a girlfriend, no. Because you may feel one way right then when you get it tattooed, but 2 or 3 years down the road, how you feel may change, and then you're just stuck with that because they never leave. Tattoos are with you forever. A girlfriend is not. So, you know why, you know how, and you know what you should never get tattooed. Now that you have all the information and everything that you need, it's your idea, it's your distinction to go out and decide whether or not a tattoo is right for you and what you should get tattooed. Now, tattoos aren't for everybody. You don't have to go out and get one. But if you did, you should always think about it for a long time, and I highly recommend you do, because tattoos could be one of the best things you ever get in your entire